Did you know that dogs' sense of smell is 10,000 to 100,000 times as acute as ours? Yes, it's true. Dogs are remarkable creatures, aren't they? They can sniff out their favorite toy in a pile of laundry or detect the faintest whiff of a treat from across the room. It's no wonder they are known as man's best friend, but even best friends can sometimes leave us scratching our heads in puzzlement. They might spin around chasing their tails or nibble on the grass in the backyard or even bark at seemingly nothing. And while these behaviors may seem odd to us, they often have a deeper meaning in the canine world. So, if you've ever wondered why your furry friend does what they do, buckle up! Today, we're going on a fascinating journey to understand the 7 strange dog behaviors and what they really mean. So let's dive in. Ever wondered why your dog chases its tail? It's a sight that can be both baffling and amusing. There are a few reasons why our canine companions engage in this peculiar behavior. Often it's simply a form of play. Puppies are especially known for this, as they're discovering their bodies and the world around them. It's like their own personal game of tag. Other times, your dog might be chasing its tail out of boredom. It's their version of twiddling thumbs, a way to expend some pent-up energy. However, tail chasing isn't always just fun and games. It could be indicative of a medical issue. If your dog is constantly chasing its tail, they could be trying to reach an itch caused by fleas or even worms. So it's not just a silly quirk. If your dog frequently chases its tail, it might be a good idea to take them to the vet. It could be their way of letting you know something's not quite right. A dog munching on grass may seem odd to us, but it's not as peculiar as you might think. In fact, it's a fairly common canine behavior. Let's delve into the possible reasons behind this grassy gastronomy. For one, dogs may eat grass to improve their digestion. It can act as a natural laxative, helping them pass anything unsavory they may have ingested. On the other hand, our 4-legged friends might be trying to fulfill an unmet nutritional need. Grass contains essential nutrients that a dog might be craving. Finally, don't rule out simple boredom. Yes, even dogs can succumb to the doldrums, and what better way to pass the time than by chowing down on some fresh green grass? While it's generally not harmful, make sure the grass they're eating hasn't been treated with pesticides or fertilizers because, as we all know, a healthy dog is a happy dog. Humping is a behavior that often leaves dog owners embarrassed, yet it's one of those behaviors we need to understand better. It's quite a common misconception that humping is always a sexual behavior. Interestingly, it's not always about that. Dogs, regardless of their gender, may mount and hump other dogs, objects, or even people as a form of play. Yes, it can be a game for them, especially for puppies who are still figuring out this big, wide world. It's also a way for dogs to express their excitement or excessive energy. In some cases, humping can be a sign of asserting dominance. It's a dog's way of saying, "Hey, I'm in charge here." Dogs may also hump when they're stressed or anxious. It's kind of like their coping mechanism. Remember, if your dog's humping behavior becomes problematic or if it seems to be a response to stress, it might be time to seek advice from a professional dog trainer. How about the adorable head tilt that dogs do? It's not just a cute quirk, but a fascinating feature of canine communication. Dogs may tilt their heads as a way to better understand what we're saying. It's like they're trying to decipher our human language. This head tilt might be their attempt to pick up on certain words or tones that they've associated with rewards like treats, walks, or cuddles. Another possibility is that dogs are focusing their hearing. Our furry friends have a different auditory structure than us. By tilting their heads, they might be adjusting their floppy ears to better capture the sounds. Or it could be a simple act of curiosity. Dogs are naturally inquisitive creatures. They might tilt their heads to get a better look at something that's piqued their interest. So the next time your dog tilts its head, know that they're just trying to understand you better. Does your dog pace or circle before lying down? If you've noticed this, don't worry. It's not just your dog that does this. It's a common behavior seen in dogs worldwide. This behavior might seem strange to us humans, but for dogs, it's an instinctive act inherited from their wild ancestors. Back in the day, wild dogs didn't have the luxury of cozy beds or couches. They had to make their own comfortable space to sleep. To do this, they would pace and circle, trampling down tall grass, snow, or other ground coverings. This not only created a more comfortable surface, but it also helped to scare away any small critters lurking around. So when you see your dog pacing and circling before they plop down for a nap, they're not just being picky. They're displaying an age-old behavior passed down from their wild ancestors. It's a quirky reminder of our dog's wild ancestors. Does your dog sometimes bark at nothing? This might be a question that's been on your mind if you've ever noticed your furry friend barking into thin air. It's easy to assume they're just being silly, but there's often more to it than meets the eye. Dogs have superhuman senses compared to us, especially when it comes to hearing and smell. So even if you can't see or hear anything, your dog might be picking up on something you're missing. It could be a tiny insect in the corner, a faint sound from outside, or even a scent that's wafted into the room. However, it's not always about their heightened senses. Sometimes it's simply a sign of boredom or anxiety. Barking can be a form of self-entertainment, or a way to release pent-up energy. In some cases, it can also be a manifestation of stress or fear. So even if it seems like they're barking at nothing, there's probably a reason for it. And lastly, why do dogs love to dig? Well, it's not just because they're trying to bury that bone you gave them last week. Digging is a way for dogs to express several natural behaviors. For starters, some dogs dig to hide food. It's an instinctive behavior inherited from their wild ancestors who buried leftovers to keep predators from sniffing them out. Other dogs may dig to create a comfortable spot to rest. On a hot day, the soil beneath the surface can be much cooler, and on cooler days it can be warmer. Then there are those dogs who dig simply out of boredom. This is especially common in breeds that were originally bred for tasks that involve digging, like terriers. And of course, some dogs dig because they're hunting for prey. If your dog is digging in a random spot, it may be because they've caught the scent of a burrowing animal. While it can be frustrating for garden lovers, digging is just another way dogs express their natural behaviors. So there you have it, 7 strange dog behaviors explained. Let's take a quick walk down memory lane, shall we? First, we delved into the comical world of dogs chasing their tails. Remember, it's not just a laughable pastime, it's a way for them to burn off energy, chase away boredom, or even indicate a medical issue. Next, we dived into the green habit of dogs eating grass. While it might seem like they're trying to go vegetarian, it's more likely they're trying to induce vomiting or fulfill a nutritional need. Then we tackled the somewhat embarrassing behavior of humping. Whether it's their favorite plush toy or your leg, it's not always about dominance or reproduction. It can also be a sign of playful excitement or stress. Moving on, we explored the adorable head tilt. This isn't just for the awe factor in photos, it's a way for dogs to better hear or understand what's happening around them. After that, we discussed the less understood behavior of pacing and circling. While it might seem like they're just being restless, it could be a sign of discomfort, anxiety, or even a neurological issue. Then we ventured into the eerie territory of dogs barking at seemingly nothing. Remember, their senses are much stronger than ours. They might be responding to sounds we can't hear or scents we can't smell. Finally, we dug into the age-old habit of dogs digging. Whether they're burying their favorite bone or creating a cool spot to lie in, it's a natural instinct that can be managed with training and alternatives. Understanding these behaviors is vital in providing the best care for our canine companions. It allows us to better communicate with them, meet their needs, and ensure their well-being. If you found this video informative and interesting, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Stay tuned for more dog-related content.